Nigerians, this is Didier Money Show, where the truth meets courage. I am Ibrahim Umarwasi, and joining me this morning are my co-hosts, the ever-analytic Mr. Kevin Japo, social commentator and national administrator at Cobden, and our DDM Academy instructor, Mrs. Oluchi. Good morning, guys. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. Mr. Kevin, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Ibrahim. Nice to meet you once again in this wonderful new week. Thank you.
All right. Let's begin with the first frame shaking Nigeria's political landscape. Activist Omoyele Sowore has filed a petition before Florida's Attorney General, alleging that Nigeria's FCT Minister Nyesom Wike laundered millions of dollars into luxury homes in the United States. 3 properties in Winter Spring, Florida, cash purchase including a $2 million mansion allegedly moved from his wife's name to his children's, raising the scepter of US anti-kleptocracy laws. If proven, the punishment could be decades behind bars. Wike insists the homes belong to his US citizen family members, but the timing, right as Nigeria prepare for the UN General Assembly, has sent the political stage ablaze. Gentlemen, Nigeria is once again confronted with the age-old question: do we export our brightest mind or our darkest candles? And as that legal storm brew abroad, closer to home in Katsina, another reality unfolds, one that forces us to question the very structure of peace. A notorious bandit leader, Kachala Umaru, walked boldly into a government-backed peace meeting, carrying AK-47 rifle, RPGs, and machine guns. Imagine that, a peace talk, but armed to the teeth. She warned security forces that for every 10 bandits killed, 20 more would rise from the rank of neglected youth. Governor Rada of Katsina State claimed dialogue has reduced banditry by 70%, but critics argue this talk emboldened criminals. So is Nigerian building peace or simply paying tributes to Table? And while Nigeria wrestled with justice and insecurity, the world shifted before our eyes. In a groundbreaking move, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia have officially recognized the state of Palestine. This recognition, coming amidst the ongoing Gaza war, pushes global support for a 2-state solution. Past the 150-country mark, leaders of UK, Great Britain, Canada, and Australia frame it as a step forward for peace, not an endorsement of Hamas.
In the face of the growing horror in the Middle East, we are acting to keep alive the possibility of peace and a 2-state solution. That means a safe and secure Israel alongside a viable Palestinian state. At the moment, we have neither. Ordinary people, Israeli and Palestinian, deserve to live in peace, to try to rebuild their lives free from violence and suffering. That's what the British people desperately want to see. Yet, almost 2 years after the barbaric attacks of October the 7th, hostages are still held by the terrorists of Hamas. Recent images show the hostages suffering and emaciated. Hamas even refuse to release all the bodies of the dead.
Yet Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called it premature, sparking fierce debates worldwide. So, Mr. Kevin, these are our topic for today, and these are more on Didier Money Show.
Yes, well, I think we are discussing on the first about Sowore and the Sowore Wike debacle. I don't know what what's causing. I don't know what's really causing their their issue, but I think they started recently. I think Sowore actually first called him out about 2 houses or so, and recently he now discovered that there is a third house which he has in Florida, all in Florida. He is saying Wike in the year 2023, through his wife, who is a minister of justice. His wife is a minister of justice, a judge in one of Nigeria's apex courts. And through his wife, he has laundered millions of dollars to the US, and he bought three houses. Florida, the state of Florida in the US is one state whereby they have a law which says anybody who launders money, person will pay penalty for that. And Sowore has petitioned the Attorney General of Florida, which that's a country where they pay laws, and definitely Wike is worried that yes, they will swing into action, and Wike is worried. I think if you notice the interview Wike had with Sheun of Channels TV, he was furious and was really hard on Sowore. Like he has, like Sowore, like really poked him, like he poked the bear. Okay, so this is causing a lot of heated issues and has exposed Wike. He even posted receipts, evidences signed by I think Echelenu, I think the wife's name is Echelenu Nyesom Wike, which is on that document. So this shows the kind of things that convince our people who are the hem of affairs too. Already, Jeremiah Oseni was trained because he did something similar. He laundered a lot of money as FCT Minister. Then and now we're seeing almost the same thing here. We have public service holders who don't care for the populace. The only thing they think of themselves. Okay. Wike, on the other hand, should, as a matter of urgency to me, answer to this, because he's like you taking somebody to the court of public opinion, taking it to the public to defend yourself. So Wike is trying to push back, and it's even threatening him to do one or two things. But when I look at it, it's not something that is new to Nigerians. Most Nigerians, we all know that most of our people in power, they launder money, they spend this. In fact, the past Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, we know what he did, and he saw the kind of estate he built in Katsina, and what he did with Nigeria Eagle Airlines, which they seem to have scammed the state and scammed the state, and there's nothing that the state has done about it. We may see another same scenario playing here. There's nothing that can be done, but we are seeing what the kind of lifestyle our public service holders are doing, spending money. All this money that was spent was around the year 2023, around the election time. Okay, so I don't know. Well, when they're actually leaving power, these people, these are the kind of things they do. So I'm not surprised. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kevin. What an excellent response. So the petition against Nyesom Wike highlights two important dynamics. First, the persistent challenge of corruption allegation in Nigeria, which whether true or not, in this case, continue to erode public trust in governance. Second, it shows a reliance on foreign jurisdiction like the US to investigate what Nigerian institutions should ordinarily handle. Now, allegations are not proof. Due process is essential. And Minister Wike deserves the presumption of innocence until facts are established. But the optic matter when public officials are repeatedly linked with unexplained wealth abroad, it reinforces citizens that the system protects the powerful while punishing the powerless. The key issue here is not only whether Wike is guilty, but why Nigeria have more confidence in foreign anti-kleptocracy laws than in their own anti-corruption agencies. So, and this begs the question, Mr. Kevin, Nigerian government officials truly trying to combat corruption, or corruption has completely eroded the system, and we have this system of selective persecution whereby if you are in the government, your sins are forgiven, but they use corruption only against their own enemies. What do you think about that?
Corruption has been institutionalized in this country. The persecution you're even talking about, let me rephrase it. If you are a member of the APC, then your sins are forgiven. But don't be surprised that someone like Fubara, as he has come now, will come to APC, okay? Because Tinubu definitely needs a tool in the 2027 elections. One will help him get his 25% in the first state, and in going to the 2027 elections, so that it can win that state, okay? And Fubara needs a second term. That's one. Because corruption has been institutionalized, okay? It seems to be the norm. Go to public offices, you want to do something, you want to pass your file. We sent one of our officials today in Abuja to go and do one or two things in the government office. I know he's going to come back and say, look, for me to do one or two things in the office, I needed to do this, I needed to pass some money around. It's something that's now the norm. Okay, so I don't know what would be the respite for Nigeria, but if there is no hard reset, I don't think there's any hope for this country. It's normal. A politician gets into power. In fact, those who are really, how would I put it, stolen money are the ones who praise, are the ones who celebrate in the society. We hail them. Okay. In election, when it comes to voting now, if you don't give the populace money to vote, they will not vote for you. The last Anambra election was a case study I keep saying for the 2027 election, because we notice the pattern, a new pattern. Those who come to the voting center to vote now, so they know what they tell the particular candidate in Anambra, they tell me, sir, we like you. But what do you have for us? This is voters in the polling center. They told him, this other candidate is giving so money to vote, 10,000. You give us something, even if it's 3,000, let's vote for. That is how bad it is now. Okay, so we're not surprised to see something like this. In fact, Nigerian society will wave this whole Wike issue aside. If it's in a state like the United States where you have a scandal like this, and officials seem to have laundered money somewhere abroad and have bought houses. See, just take it that within the next 2 weeks to 1 month, the person will resign. And the law will take its course. Okay? But you know, within the next 1 or 2 weeks, all this will be set aside, and if you complete this term as FCT Minister, nothing will happen. That's the problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is very, very sad. We have highlighted all the problems, and I believe it's fair for us to say Nigeria has reached a critical stage. But I don't believe in only listing problems without highlighting solutions to them. At what point does the fight against corruption stop being about individuals and become about the system that shields them? Isn't this proof that Nigeria's institutions are still too weak to persecute the mighty?
Let me say this. Nigeria has weak institutions. If you enact a law in this country, it's just for, let me put it, audio law. I think Lagos recently enacted a law that they should be paying 1 month or so, or sorry, landlords should not be collecting more than a year or so. You should not be collecting 3 years, 2 years, 4 years, but it is still ongoing. Nobody's enforcing it. We don't enforce laws in this country. We don't obey laws. Why? Because there are no consequences for any wrongdoing. You steal money from the public purse, there's no consequence. Nobody is taken to jail. Nobody is in China. If you steal from the public purse, the next human weeks they will discover that you may have been executed. Okay, there must be consequences for any wrongdoing in the society. If you do that, that will not make it. Some of the deterrence. No other person would like to go back there and steal money. Okay, but here money comes in, steals enough money, steals billions, and at the end is walking on the streets. They call him a hero. They hail him. He's a big man. Understand? There are no consequences. They asked the Prime Minister of present day, who is the father of modern day Singapore, what did you do that makes Singapore to move from a third world country to a first world country? Do you know what he said? He said, I had to make sure that people who have stolen money, people who have done any wrongdoing in government, they paid. There was consequences for their actions. They were taken to jail, and they were in fact, the law did not caught up with them. Okay, in Nigeria, until you do that, things will never change. If a man becomes the governor of a state and he steals and goes and doesn't go to jail, the next person that comes will do much more than that. The next person that comes will continue like that, and they will continue to steal from the national coffers until they will steal a whole generation money, and there will be nothing left for even our future generation. That is it. If you want to make this country to work, you must make sure that anything anybody does in government, they pay dearly for it. There's consequences for such actions. Okay, when people begin to realize that if they do so, they steal from the government coffers, they are bound to, the law will catch up with them. They will sit up. Okay. Let me give an example. When Dora Akunyili was alive, I was watching an interview when they interviewed her. She said, as the NAFDAC chairperson here, she was also in contact with the NAFDAC chairperson in China, because people were also importing pharmaceutical products from China. That she was always in contact with them. We would go for conferences, she meets with him. There was one day she left Nigeria as the NAFDAC chairperson to go to China. When she got there, she now discovered that the person that was in charge there, their own NAFDAC there in China, was not on seat. She now asked, where is this man? What happened to him? This man I've been talking to him. They told her the man is not available. She now inquired one. They told her, look, the man is no longer alive. He has been executed. Do you know why? He stole money. China has zero tolerance for corruption. That's why they are so developed today. The man has been executed because they discovered that he stole some funds, and it was summarily executed after trial. If you do that to one or two governors in this country who have stolen money before, and something like that happens to them, what do you think other governors will do? They will sit up because they know there is consequences. That is the problem. There's nothing like that in the society. People do as they like. There's no consequences. In fact, our institutions we don't have strong institutions. That is why things are like this. You can even bribe the judge in this country. Bribe a judge to give you judgment. Okay? That's the problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kevin Japo. The bottom line is there must be a consequence for every action carried out in the society. Laws must be enforceable. Laws must be evenly applicable, and it must maintain the balance between the permanent and the peripheral. As we draw the curtain on today's morning show, let us pause and connect the dots. In Florida, the name of Nigeria is whispering in court documents, not for innovation or progress, but for alleged stolen wealth. In Katsina, Gonrua, louder than promises, and peace is negotiated at the barrel of a weapon. And across the ocean, Palestine gained recognition, yet peace remains a dream deferred, suspended between hope and hostility. What do these stories tell us? They tell us that power without integrity breeds scandal, that peace without justice breeds insecurity, and that recognition without resolution breeds conflict. But more importantly, they remind us that nations rise or fall not by the weight of their challenges, but by the courage with which they confronted them. Nigeria must decide, will we export corruption or integrity? Will we dialogue with criminals or deliver justice? Will we watch the world define its future while we stumble in our past? Here on DDM Morning Show, we are committed to asking the question that pierces through the noise, because Africa deserves not just news, but truths. Don't forget to like this video, hit that notification bell to get alerted when we drop a new content. I am Ibrahim Mumarwasi with my co-host, Mr. Kevin Japo and Mrs. Oluchi. Thank you for joining us this morning. Stay curious, stay courageous, and above all, stay committed.
Thank you.
Good morning and God bless you all.